right, first things first, John. So, how did you meet us, essentially?
I met you guys through finding you through another website that was ranked #1.
Nice.
So
We're like,
I went to the bottom of their page and saw Hard Hat, and boom,
The rest is
here we are.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, what was your experience with other marketing companies before us?
Well, I think our experience with other marketing companies was, it was literally give us all your money and we'll see what we can do. And but that's everybody. It's like, give me all your money and let's see what we can do. Your all's stance was, let me prove myself first and then we can talk about money, which that's always been my stance from a self-employed person, which is like, you prove yourself and then you get paid. So I've never really understood that side of the marketing scam. It's like, why, how can you do that? It's almost like attorneys.
yeah.
It's like, you pay me no matter what the outcome is.
Yep.
And I don't, to me, that's never made sense.
Yeah.
So
Totally.
but you guys obviously clearly have been the opposite of that. So
That's awesome.
How'd you meet Tony?
I met Tony through Facebook. This guy popped up on my screen screaming and hollering at me about answering my phone. So, and then
Isn't that where you meet all your favorite people, John?
we actually, yeah, right. No, not necessarily. Just the people I pay. But and then Tony and we tried to start about 8 months ago, and we tried to go down a course that didn't include it, Tony. It was through another marketing agency, and then we were going to bring him in, but we were not happy with their results. So we ended up just going with Tony, with you all doing our marketing. So that has proved to be divine. Because, I mean, like, God puts things in your life, right?
Yep.
You don't know why or how. Sometimes it takes 10 years, 12 years, but here we are. And we feel like we're going to grow tremendously with you guys, everybody. And I've got a meeting with another one of Tony's guys next week for our sales team. So
Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing. So, in terms of your marketing, how many leads were you getting per month, or opportunities before you even talked to us?
we may have got probably 8 a week, which everybody knows, and but most of your marketing companies are like, hey, look, we've got 300 visits to your website. I don't care about visits. I need money in the bank account. Period. I think 4 or 5 months with you guys, 4 or 5 months with Tony. Y'all came on at this pretty much the same time.
Yeah, pretty close.
Almost like, I think he came on like 2 or 3 weeks after you all, because I was like, these guys are jamming in like 5 to 8 leads a day. And there's no way I'm going to be able to do that myself as a business owner.
How's your relationship been working with Southern Vintage?
It's been really good. I would say John is are what we call as foundational clients, and we're looking for X amount, 20 foundational clients. And foundational clients to us is somebody that has a lot of growth potential, somebody that we can partner with, somebody that our team loves working for, which is very, very important. Because I want to create an environment on my side for our team that wants to show up to work because of the relationships. Like, this is a relationship business to us. And John has showed us every single bit that he is a foundational partner for us, which makes us want to jump in and do everything we can to help John grow his business. If it's fractional VP, if it's giving a better feedback loop for you guys. We are 100% bought into John's vision and what he's doing on every single level, which is really, really cool for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but Tony, you've had that interest in what we do since the day that we've met.
John's business is very, very close to my heart because my dad is a very small micro version of what John does. So he has a couple bandsaw mills in Washington State, and he retired about 10 or 15 years ago. My dad's been cutting lumber making mantles, making rough cut lumber, making you name it. He cut his own whole house and framed it. Since for about last 45 years.
That's cool. That's kind of what you touched on was your sort of favorite part was being in the more outdoor, rough and tough kind
Oh
of
yeah,
part of it.
yeah, man. I like to be out there and yeah. But you think about and one thing that's always intrigued me with our industry is the men that came across here in 1776 or early 1800s before the sawmills were existed and created timbers by hand in the freezing cold with mules. There was no machinery. These were badass dudes, bro. You know what I'm saying? They were freaking absolute warriors.
They're like 5 of us.
Yeah, man. I mean, they're pulling trees down, axing them by hand, starting fires, killing their food they're eating. I mean, these things tell a story.
Yeah.
And that intrigues me, man. Like this timber behind us at TNU, I mean, it's made by hand. I mean, like you don't get that anymore. And I love that, my Uncle Gino that I grew up with quite a bit in Tennessee, we would go down there and visit him and stay for a while. And he didn't have electric, he didn't have water. And, I mean, we went out and hunted for our food and it would be like dead of winter and we're like living by the fireplace. He was like this man's man. Yeah. And, it's just like that was a feeling and an aura from a man that you don't get anymore. Like
What, you
this,
said not like that?
no. I'm not even like it's like these are some bad dudes, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't like they will put you under with
Talking back a bitch,
Right.
My dad raised us that way. We were like, we might as well be. We had hot water and running power, but like, we were building a house. When I was in high school, we were building a house. My dad was building a house and cutting lumber for it. Like, we built our own little shabins, little shacks that we lived in when we built this house and went to school. But what John's saying, right, that's exactly what's going on in society today, right? It's like hard men create easy times.
Yeah, man.
Easy times make soft men. Men make hard times. We're living through that cycle right now, what he's talking about.
Yeah, we're in the soft times right now.
No, we are.
Bunch of pansies.
If electric went out and you could not go to a grocery store and you did not have matches, the things that we just feel are just there, could you live? And that's always intrigued me. I like that part of being out in the wilderness and being able to know I can start a fire and being able to know I can kill a deer. I mean, just simple survival. Like how much of society would actually die?
A lot.
I mean, really?
To be honest, 95%.
It'd be a lot, man.
Yeah, it'd be a lot.
And I mean, that's when the theft kicks in and people are I don't care what it takes to feed my kids. I'm going to steal. I'm coming for your shit.
Yeah, 100%.
And you got to be there to protect it.
Yeah.
And saying please and thank you ain't going to get it done.
I'm coming for your shit. That sounds like some of the other marketing companies you worked with.
I love it. Well, that's dead on right there.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I'd love to get more about your background, John, in general. Like, when was like the exact moment you realized that reclaimed wood could actually be a real big business that you could scale?
Probably in 2013. 2013, I'd worked with my dad sanding floors, which was second generation. I'm 3, and I always loved sanding floors, but I wanted to get into something that was I've always wanted to be a creator. You know what I'm saying? That's just something that's inside of me, like our luxury vinyl plank line that we're coming out with. Something different. What is something we can give our client that they can't get anywhere else? And that intrigues me. For some reason, that gives me value. You know what I'm saying? I might just sell them carpet, or I might just selling them the same dial tile that anybody could get across the country. That game's never intrigued me at all.
No. Let's say somebody who's watching has no clue what reclaimed wood is. How would you describe it?
Well, reclaimed wood is anything that has already had an existing life. It's held a structure up. It's held a tobacco barn up. We reclaim barrel staves. It's not necessarily a structure, but that wall over there, it's all barrel staves. So, I mean, it's just reclaimed wood. It's been used before. Where traditional milled lumber is a new tree that's been cut down, it's sawmilled into whatever it is that you're looking for. So reclaimed material also it's going to go back into the, I mean, before the early settlers, it was Indians. They lived in teepees. They didn't build structures. So you had your early settlers that started coming over in the mid 1750s, and America was formed in 1776. That's when the actual structures started being built that we use today as reclaimed beams, timbers, and siding.
Yeah. You're recycling.
And
it
another
fast.
cool thing, a lot of your we talk about these guys that would come out and fall trees and they would hand hew them. Every timber that's hand hewn is the center of a tree. A lot of your lumber today is piecemealed off a tree. That's why these timbers have lasted 300 years. So if you keep them out of water, the only thing that's going to get them fire.
Yeah.
So
One hell of a band.
yeah, man. And some of them are like 10 by 10, 11 by 11, 12 by 12 timbers. Yeah. And the way that they form these by hand to be so accurate with the mortise and tendon and being able to put them in with wood pegs, that's all done by hand.
Yeah.
I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
It almost makes you wonder how anyone could afford to build anything. Because if it was that same process today, no one would be able to afford
It'd be
it.
impossible.
Yeah.
It would be impossible. Even if you just look at the construction of homes from the 1950s to now, they were all oak. Everything now is pine.
Yeah, Tony. So I'm talking in terms of like your dad and his material. Did he ever use reclaimed wood when he was actually building any of your structures or anything of that sort?
No, there's not too much reclaim stuff happening. My dad is in Western Washington, in Woodinville, Washington. It's just outside of, probably an hour outside of Seattle. And we just have so many trees around here. I mean, it's just, so he has people dropping off trees to him. He has a flatbed with a crane on it. He'll go out if somebody, has cut down a bunch of cedar trees or something, and he'll snag them or buy them, bring them back, mill them up. He's got wood all over the yard. I mean, so he's pretty much, there's so many trees around here. It's primarily like redwood. He's got some nice stuff. I know he's got some black walnut in the driveway and stuff people's dropped off, but yeah, it's not a lot of reclaimed.
Gotcha. Yeah.
One other thing, Tony, is a lot of your early settlers came in, from the East Coast through New York. So a lot of your reclaimed timbers and structures are up in Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee. There's not a lot out on the West Coast. They didn't make it there.
That's why we need Southern Vintage to ship over there.
That's why we do.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There's not a lot of hand-hewn timbers in Arizona.
Yeah.
I mean, there's in California.
Yeah, good luck finding that.
It's not there. Tobacco barns and those type of things there was millions of them. So
I got it. Yeah, in terms of getting started, is there any previous generation that did flooring or any sort of mill work before you that got you interested in this kind of?
Well, my grandfather started Allgaier Flooring here in Louisville in the 1930s, 40s. And then his grandfather was one of the three brothers that came across on a boat from Germany. So we're only here for 3 generations. We're only 2 generations removed from a Sagarian society.
Yeah.
My great-grandfather was farming hogs and growing tobacco, and my great-grandmother grew all the food they ate.
Yeah.
So, we're not that far from where we used,
Yeah. No, I get it. And Tony, essentially, how did you get started in the flooring industry?
Yeah, I spent, I think around 2008, we say our Great Recession. I was a small developer, so we were buying at the time I was living in Northern California. We were buying lots and building spec houses. Had a little support from my father-in-law, and we had about I think 7 or 8 houses under construction. And 2008 hit, and I kind of stopped building, and yeah, I kind of watched the market for a little bit, and I saw the way things were going, and I decided that I was going to stop and I wasn't going to build through it. And some of the other builders I knew decided they were going to build through it. And it turns out that I kind of made the right decision. And there was actually a point where we were living in one of the houses that we built. I was there with my wife, and she was pregnant with our second daughter. We have 3.
And this is about 17 years ago now. And I was like, well, what are we going to do? Like, we ain't going to be building houses anymore. So I had made friends because I do believe I've always leveraged and believed in relationships and people and stuff like that. So vendors, friends, contractors, who it is, I try to have close relationships with them. And so I did that with the flooring store in town that I bought all my flooring through for the houses that we built. And just became friends. And I was in the office one day hanging out like I do, stop in and say hi, shoot the shit. And they were like, oh, my Mohawk rep just quit. And I was like, what does he do? Oh, he's my point of contact for the company. And I'm like, I can do that job. I was like, give me the number. Give me the number. Because the senior VP had called her, let her know that if you needed help, call him. And I was like, give me his number. So I called him up, set myself with an interview, and ended up they just about gave me the job on the spot. And they called me back the same day and they said, hey, we're going to pass on you. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, this is not acceptable. It's like, why are you passing on me? Oh, because we're going to get out of this real estate bubble and you're going to go back to building. We don't see you as a long-term fit. And I was like, nah, whatever. So I actually reversed that conversation. They ended up hiring me, and I stayed with them for 12 years with Mohawk. And I started out in the residential side. I ended up moving my family, my 3 girls, all out to New Zealand. We helped develop New Zealand and Australia for Mohawk as expats for them. We lived out there for 3 years. They brought us back to the States and landed us in LA. Not a great place to live, but got some good people there. No offense to anybody that lives in LA, but we worked in the education government segment there for about 5 years and developed that for Los Angeles County before we moved to back up to the Pacific Northwest. And that's essentially when I left close to 2020, and it kind of started out with my own marketing company. We got involved doing similar stuff that you guys do, then into lead generation, and then realized really quickly that you can't send flooring businesses leads if they don't have a system to convert leads into appointments. So we spent the last 2 years developing that business.
That is awesome. That's a super
So about 20 years now I've been in the industry.
That's awesome.
Damn, you don't look a day over 30. I don't know. I don't know about that, but yeah. He's like, oh,
I'll take it. I got a 19-year-old daughter. That would put me at 11 years old.
yeah. Oh, I get it. So,
Real quick, do you have any talking points you want to bring up?
Kind of same questions that you guys started with. Is like, hey, where were you guys at when we came along? I know we had kind of I would say, what did you say? A dating period? Like, this is kind of what we do. About 6 months there where we touched on and off before we decided to work together. And I'd like to know, what was the impact that you saw on, when we stepped in and we were able to start taking some of those leads and phone calls for you. And it's been a few months now. And then our next transition point is to help you, solve some of that outside your market sales stuff to help you guys grow. Where were you then? Where are you now? Would be really helpful.
on our end, essentially, we only were working with John for about, I think, 30 days before they stepped in. So we didn't have a huge, big discrepancy.
I didn't realize that you were only there for 30 days.
It wasn't long.
It wasn't long.
And in fact, I know that you had the horror stories of working with other people that we can get into the details of, but Michael calls me and goes, hey, John's got another marketing guy he wants us to talk to. And I'm like, are we about to get fired? After all these leads, are we about to get...
Well, we actually still had 2 other websites that somebody's running. Like, it's called it's Kentucky Wholesale Hardwood, and it does bring in some business.
Yeah.
It's all just Google-driven ads,
Yeah.
and then a remodeling site.
Yeah. You will change that.
So well, you absolutely will. But but what I am seeing now with Southern Vintage and with you all on board and with Tony on board is that I think this has the potential to grow past anything that I ever envisioned, really, truthfully. Because I know we have the products at the best price point, from reclaim to traditional milled to luxury vinyl plank to paneling, all of the things that people want out there across the country.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like anybody can compete with us. I feel like we got the A team with you guys.
100%.
Awesome.
So, that's where I'm at, where we're going to stand.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I'm in constant contact with Tony, our whole team is. And I know he even has a great percentage of, I think, about 30 to 35% booking rate on our leads. is essentially what you're around at. So that has been, I'm sure, crucial for you.
Yeah, that's always we want to, we always aim to do 10x what our clients do. Like if any client, John, comes in, they say, hey, we're booking, 8%, 8 to 12% is a real booked appointment rate off of lead flow from any client that's doing it themselves, just straight up. It's like nobody tracks it, nobody knows the metrics, but once you track it, it's ugly, right? And then so if we can 10x that number, then I know that we're making an impact in somebody's business, which is the most important thing we do. Because I want to go to sleep at night knowing that I can have a massive impact somewhere. And so we're steadily raising that number month after month. But it takes a team. It's like you can't just send over a bunch of leads and expect that a bunch of appointments are going to get booked, right? It takes a team. It takes a really brilliant feedback loop and great partners and great synergy. And really, it's the same environment that I'm working internally that needs to happen here too, is that we have to have synergy. We have to enjoy working with each other. We have to want to walk out and say, hey, Michael, this is awesome. Look what you've just done. You said, hey, we had a problem here with, the type of leads that were coming in for this. That's like you guys got on it. We were able to actually increase booked appointments by 10%. And 10% is a big number. So I expect those numbers to continue to grow. And I really expect those numbers to get closer to 50%. And that's always our target for any client. So, but working with people like you guys just makes it so much easier. Feedback loop is incredibly important.
Yeah, it is important to work with people that you know. And that's what's great about the relationship industry. You don't have to recreate the wheel. If we have a builder that we work with for 10 years, we know what their expectations are. I mean, it's easier. You're going to be able to perform.
John and I were talking before the podcast started, and one of the things that we got onto was there are several clients that we either turn down from bringing on board with us or step away from because we realize, hey, your problem was not marketing. We can send you the leads and we're vetting them, qualifying them. You have an internal problem you cannot fulfill, or you're not able to take the calls. And that is why, Tony said it perfect. He found a problem in the market and he started something to solve that problem. And it works so well in tandem with us because he's a guy who can keep up with no matter how many leads we send him.
There is no way on this planet that as many leads as you all have come in and as many people as they call back in the day that I could run my business and get back to them. Since I've hired you guys and Tony, I have been the bottleneck twice. And we're working on the second one, December 24th. So your weakness they get exposed quick.
3 things that John or any business like John needs to do great before they ever spend $1, right? And this is part of our broken record. We say this over and over again on our content. We say this to our clients. We educate as many people on these 3 pillars as humanly possible. If you're going to grow your business through paid ads, right, which is a really good option. There's some people out there that don't grow their business. They're an anomaly. They're an outlier, right? You can't use those as all case studies. It doesn't work for everybody. Most companies, the majority of companies need to grow their business through really brilliant, effective, and strategic paid ads, right? Whether you're buying leads or creating them. There's 3 things that you have to do in order to win and not lose your, what. One is you have to have constant, steady lead flow, meaning they have to be coming in every day, 1 a day at least, right? We say at least 30 or 40 a month is pretty much the opening is where you need to be. So constant, steady lead flow is pillar 1. Pillar 2 is how you manage said leads, which is kind of where we step in, and that's where we're going to kind of own that category in this industry. And the third one is going to be your sales process. So lead flow, lead management, and internal sales process. Without those 3 things, if you start throwing money at marketing and advertising, you will lose. Because there will be loss. Because the difference is it's super easy. But the problem is there's nobody out there talking about this. Like every marketing company is promoting themselves. Every, sales coaching service is promoting themselves. It's like, this is what you need to do. But there's this invisible pillar in the middle, right? That like it's this gaping hole that nobody is addressing and nobody even knows they have a problem with. Yeah, so those three things are super important for anybody that wants to win, in my opinion. And so we've made it a point to we're creating this thing called like our part of our model, our business for our structure and our pathway for growth and the roadmap over the next 3 years is to create an ecosystem, right? Because if we're going to manage leads, we need to partner with the best lead aggregators in the industry, right? We need to be able to take our clients like John and say, hey, John, here's Hard Hat. I know it happened in reverse, but as an example. And that's what we do, is we're taking Hard Hat as our partner to as many people as possible because we know that, hey, these are real guys. These guys care. These guys do great work. They're not just, taking on a client and passing them off to whoever to do it. No white labeling, no anything like that. So it's like this ecosystem becomes really important. We're seeing it with our close friend. It's a fractional VP of sales, to be able to step in and help somebody solve that third pillar, which is the internal sales process. Whether it's somebody to be placed in the business or coaching the people that are in the business, it doesn't matter what it is. It's super important. So if we can handle that one pillar by itself doesn't always solve the problem. But if we have an ecosystem of high quality people that live right here in this country that care about people like you, care about people like John, care about people like me, we can create this ecosystem that I think that, we can just start saying, hey, go here. We have data here on these lead sources. They win. We book this many appointments out of them, this booked appointment rate, average jobs look like this. And that's the data we keep to try to help people, come and find the right opportunity. So thanks for being part of that ecosystem.
Yeah, it's nice.
Don't be setting it up with all our competition out there, Tony.
Yeah, I gotta step off. I actually got a call with your competitor in about 5 minutes, John.
Yeah, he's got Chris. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, Tori. It's been good talking to you, man.
If there's one thing I'm not worried about is other flooring stores.
Right. 100%. I'd love to take this conversation more to a story aspect as well. Like, is there some point in your business where you're like, I don't think I'll be able to keep this going?
Oh, yeah. Every year.
Every year.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always, we have grown tremendously with everything that we offer, and it's all been a learning phase, from live edge to kiln drying to timbers to how to finish them to putting our own finishing line into our own, here where we hand finish things and sanding the stuff and staining it and making sure that it's shipping, making sure that it's palletized correctly and strapped and wrapped and, and then shipping companies, like it's all individual.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot to do that. It takes a lot of time to put that together, especially when you're recreating the wheel. Like, I'm sure there's people out there I could have brought in to help me, but if you don't have the money, you figure it out.
Yeah.
100%.
Like like I figured, like you all have been a blessing. We figured you out. Yeah. There's been a lot of times, actually, right before we hired you guys, it's like, dude, if we don't find somebody, we're not going to be in business. Period.
Yep. I remember when you first signed up with us, I was looking everything over and I was like, these guys offer so many products. It's unreal. I've never seen a single store that offered that many specific handcrafted things. And now's a good time to ask, how do you train your guys and your team to be able to do such a wide variety of things?
Well, my warehouse manager, Nathan's been with me for 10 years. So he's grown with me. And as we've grown together. And then he imparts that knowledge on the people that we can bring in. I'm over there, which is great because our showroom's at our production facility. So, it's always a hands-on kind of thing. Now, some of the things where people just buy some of our traditional milled, it's just, we ship it to them. It's easy.
Yeah.
Which that's our luxury vinyl plank line that we've got coming in. That's just a ship to. It's super easy. But it's just been you love it, but it's painful.
Yes. That's a business. They're eating glass every day.
Yeah, man. But you like it.
But you love it.
It's like, dude, I got to get up and do that.
It's like he's
Something
feeling
is
inside-
pulling me forward.
Yeah, something is. I don't know what it is, but it's got to be out of this world to keep me going. Any sane person wouldn't be doing this, right?
No, they definitely wouldn't. Yeah, my poor wife. Man, I tell you what, she's hung in there.
I was talking to another entrepreneur the other day in the gym. Oh, it was like just exactly what you say. You know, it's like I realize that I'm only friends with entrepreneurs, right? Because it's like the stuff that we have to go through, you know, to grow, what we have to learn, the pain points that we have to deal, what we have to overcome. It's like, and I worked for a corporate job for, 12, 13 years of my life. And it's like collecting a paycheck is different. Even earning commission is different. You know, it's like, I love this stuff. It's like, I love the lessons. I love the sense of the pain that you got to go through, what I can deal with, emotionally, numbers wise, like stuff just in the last 5 or 6 years alone. I'm a different human. I'm a resilient human. And you can only really be at that point if you walk through the fire and try to create something and build something like John has. And I have a fraction of what he's created, and I feel like twice the man I was before I started. And I think that's why I only hang out with entrepreneurs, because they understand the pain.
Yeah, and they're the only friends who are cool to see you once or twice a year, and that's it.
That's true. That's
That
true.
is a fact.
Especially when you're getting started. I don't know if I'll ever forget it, but so Michael and I met in high school. That's when we started a number of businesses before we got into websites, which evolved into marketing. And I remember we had graduated high school, still in our early phases, but I went back to visit one of my teachers, and some underclassmen were there, and they made fun of Michael for the business and some content we had released, and they didn't know I was a part of it. And I remember looking them in the face and go, "You just watch." And now today, we're rooted enough now that I'd say, we've made it, we're not going anywhere. But there were plenty of times where, we would post things no one would see. We would do 1,000 sales calls with no results until we found our way and what we're good at. And, that's another thing. People who don't create or aren't entrepreneurs or whatever, they don't understand the pain. And if they did, they probably wouldn't make fun of those trying as much. It's like a black belt won't make fun of a white belt, but someone who's never done karate or jiu-jitsu will be like, "Ha ha, you're just a white belt." No, you don't get it.
They don't understand. Yeah. And I just have a very special place in my heart for any entrepreneur that's been in the business for more than 10 years, for sure. I'm like, you've been through it.
Yeah, you've made it.
You've made it.
Well, and back to Tony's point, I filed bankruptcy in 2008. I mean, brother, let me tell you something. We were moving along, but all of our money was in builders. It was all in Me Too stuff. I had no way to distinguish myself from anybody else besides price.
Yeah.
If you can have a value and price, then I feel like you can win the game. But then it's just getting it out there to people see it. But yeah, 2008, man, that was a tough year. And 9 and 10 and 11. Oh, bro, let me tell you something. It was a tough year.
I wasn't old enough to know. I was.
Yeah, y'all are young bucks. So you ain't met these guys yet. You don't know how young they are.
I was freaking chocolate milk, Well, still do.
Yeah, I didn't make it through. I went to work for somebody, Mohawk. But there's a lesson that I learned in those first years working for somebody else through our Great Recession, 2009, 10, and 11, right? Is when I was looking at my book of business, my customers, my flooring businesses that I was calling on in Northern California, Santa Rosa, San Francisco area, North Bay, I was like, I don't know how to grow business. The whole industry is off 40 to 60% depending on where you're at, right? So the strategy, and I'm not saying I had the best coaching in the world, but I knew my number one strategy was to find out where the business is happening. That's it. Who's still writing business? What businesses are writing? Where's it at? And what market share can I take within those places? And so all I did for 3 years was work on market share from the top producing flooring dealers in the Bay Area. And I actually maintained the business after a few years. Like I was almost flat when everybody was down 40%. And that's a win, just maintaining it. Still, it's still a cop out. You should still grow your business, but yeah, still it was a tough time. But that's one thing that I think that like everybody can learn something from is it's like there's business happening. Some people are having some real hard times now. Some people are winning right now. We have a really interesting market conditions, right? But where's your market share? What percentage of it do you have? Can you take some more of it? And you can grow in any market that way. It's a lot easier to grow like that than it is to have a business that goes coast to coast like Home Depot or something, because you're going to feel every point that it's down.
Well, I'm going to put a shout out for both of you guys. And it's one thing that as a business owner, you don't always like to hear, but you guys have always been able to add constructive criticism. Like you're constantly telling me I'm the bottleneck, but here's another value that you bring. You bring someone in that can fulfill that for me. That's huge. Now we're going to be interviewing that person on, next Wednesday as far as sales, and then you all doing the same with website. We don't need to put our money here. We need to put it B2B. It's not taking a month to get feedback back. It's a week or two. What other web guys are like you, they're waiting. We need to wait 3 or 4 months to see, keep giving us 15 grand a month and let's just see where it goes. You guys are constantly about feedback. And like that only happens because you all care.
Yeah.
It's not about the money. And I think that's the companies that win, because that energy you give to your client.
Yep.
And they feel that. You're not saying it, but they know it's authentic. And authenticity wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't make that up.
You can't.
I mean, that's true of any relationship. I have lost friendships because I'll be super hard on my bros. Like, I'm not your friend if I let you take on this habit that's destructive. I'm
You're a
not
leader.
your friend.
You're a leader.
Yeah.
That's what leaders do.
Right. Like, I want to see my friends.
That's why you're in the chair.
Yeah. I want to see my friends be healthy, be wealthy. And I've left friend groups because no one wanted to change.
Yeah. Well, that's called having a standard for yourself. Yeah, man.
Yeah. And for those around you. That's how the water rises.
Yeah, man.
All boats go with it.
And in that sort of space, what has been the worst hire you've ever made, and how did letting them go change you as a leader?
And we don't have to name drop.
You don't have to name drop. Just say like a position or even
I don't think I've had a worst hire. I think I've probably made decisions not knowing. So I would take all the blame. I wouldn't blame one individual. I think growing, you feel after you hire this person, you start to grow, and then you see that they're not going to be the right fit. I've really been blessed with having people around me that care, like you guys. Like, I mean, I can't really explain it. I mean, maybe it's divine driven, maybe it is my prayers every morning. I don't know what it is, but I'm blessed to have 3 or 4 guys over in the production shop that care. I'm blessed to have 2 or 3 guys out that are delivering our material that care. I mean, and it just, I can't say it's that I've had a bad hire. I think that I would, through growing, I've made bad decisions, so look, if I can't own the mistakes that I've made, I can't grow from them.
Yep.
So it's like, put it all on me. Yep. So
That's being a leader.
That is being a leader.
So,
Yeah.
it is what it is. If I fail tomorrow, the knowledge I have today, it will start again, and it'll just happen that much quicker.
Yep. 100%.
When I sort of was stepping in with my dad's company and I started to be a crew lead, and then that turned into a general manager and whatever, I remember he told me, he said, you work here now, business hours, I'm your boss. Outside of that, I'm your dad. But when it comes to stuff, if your guys win, you give the glory to them. But when they mess up, it's your ass.
That's right.
And I think about that every day.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Because there's no other way to win.
Yeah.
You'll never grow from their mistakes. It's not their fault.
Nope.
I mean, it just can't be.
Yeah.
So yeah, 100%.
Any leadership lessons over there on the West Coast?
No, I'm a big fan of the extreme ownership. And I think that's the only way to operate for a couple different reasons. So I agree completely. I'm just going to add to what you guys said. That's it, is that, if somebody does something that I feel like they've let us down or let down one of our customers or haven't fulfilled one of the commitments, which is huge in our conversations, is the commitments that we feel to our clients, right? Like if we fall short on something, why, right? I become powerless if I blame somebody else, right? I have all the power in the world to get whatever I want out of any situation. It's through my outlook, through the energy, through my communication, through how I communicate, how I set people up for success. So if I don't get the outcome of what I was looking for, I have to look at it like it was my own doing. So I didn't set that person up for success, or I didn't set the expectations right, or I didn't motivate them properly. I let them know what's at stake, whatever it was, training, understanding, monitoring, whatever it is. And as entrepreneurs, we all know that, at whatever stage our business is, it's a juggling act of a few jobs sometimes. And the dream is to be a true CEO, is to be able to sit there and say, hey, and have the right people running the departments they need to, because that's when things are fully optimized, or actualization in your business, whatever you want to look at. But you have to have that extreme ownership, I think, at every single level. And that's the only way that you remain in power. I mean power in a good way, power to influence your life, influence your business, influence your people. But the moment that you start blaming somebody else, you lost all your power. You can't control your future. You can't control your destiny.
You definitely can't control your outcome.
So yeah, extreme ownership all the way. So, when it talks about hiring people, yeah, it's, I look at other things besides, hey, what's your ability to execute this job or this task or this role or whatever it is? It's like, who's going to be a cultural fix? Who can we align our goals with? Who's going to be kind of a long-term, who's the right person to get on the bus, or the things that I pay really close attention to, because I believe that in the right atmosphere and the right people, we can all lift each other up. All right. We can all kind of move as a whole. And once you start bringing in outliers in a bad or good way, then it kind of messes that up. So I have thought I nailed it before, right? And it's been the second person that I went back to and offered a job to, because it was very short-lived. That's happened before. But once again, that's kind of decisions that I made. Maybe I didn't see something right. So it's hard to see, though.
Yeah.
Only another thing from a business owner's perspective, we always want to bring things in-house, like someone answering our phone. So, and then sales as well, as like a lot of flooring stores want people to come to a store. I think that what we're putting together with you all and with you all, we're really kind of recreating the wheel here for a national type of footprint, where people don't have to come to a store.
And as far as certain things being outsourced, yes, some guys, it's all about, I want it under my thumb, my say. But when you're, I think an entrepreneur at their core is people who can move the right pieces into the right places to get the desired outcome.
Sure.
If you're hiring a team like us or a team like Tony, who already knows their exact role and has extremely high proficiency, if they're getting results, let them eat.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and like John said it, I think that I'm very much a believer that entrepreneurship is a game of survival, right? And what I mean by that is like whoever, and game of survival is a game of no quit, right? I'm resilient. I'm freaking like, I'm going, like there's nobody's going to stop me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll never quit. I'll never give up. And so it's like, you need to give yourself the biggest window of time to be successful. Sometimes that's 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Like the guys that are in the game, the guys that are constantly improving, the guys that are constantly growing, looking at more unique ways, to do things, are the guys that are surviving the longest, giving themselves an opportunity to be successful, resonate in their market, or resonate across the country with some sort of brand recognition and problem solving. Now, I think that like what you guys do, what John was saying, what we do is very unique value proposition for a lot of companies, right? Because of course, I would hope that at some point in the future, John would come back to me and you guys or me and say, hey, we have grown the business significantly, 3x, 4x, 5x. We're 20, 30, $40 million business. And it makes sense for John to bring this service in-house. I want to have the kind of relationship where John's like, hey, let's transition this business. Let's transition this team in-house. Like that's a future product or service for us for larger companies, right? But like right now, the cost that John pays us to do a job for him, he cannot, it's going to be probably 6 or 7x more for him to hire an internal team to manage a phone 7 days a week, 10 hours a day, and the systems and process and everything that we've learned over the last couple of years. Right? And so it makes sense, financial sense to help him survive longer, be more successful. And that's like, when does a company bring internally marketing in? It's like, what stage? What does it make sense for them to do it? But like, if we're good partners, it's like, we want to help our customers make that transition at some point in the future. And that's where the relationship thing, I think, is paramount over anything else. And that's where I think success is built. But I think that surviving is like, these are great options for smaller companies to act at the level of efficiency, with ad spend and compete with those big companies that have internal call teams.
Well, business is all about profit. And you guys are bringing value at a level that I can't bring it in-house. It doesn't make sense. And as we continue to grow with you guys and with the additional salespeople that we're going to bring on that are not in-house, that's just thinking out the box. That's just like, we're growing, but we're not in a traditional sense.
At the end of the day, the bottom line is what matters.
Yeah, man. That's what profit.
Yeah. It's about some of the horror stories that you had dealing with other marketers.
It was all web-based driven traffic.
Yeah.
Which does not convert to money.
Yeah, right.
It's like, it gets you excited, but it never, it's mental masturbation.
Yeah. Then you like build part of a house or do a guy's flooring in his house, some kind of trade that was like horribly unbalanced.
We did, yes. I'm not going to drop any names.
They're right, obviously.
Yeah, we were spending $25,000 to $30,000 a month on marketing.
Oh, wow.
And it wasn't break even. We were bringing in business, but it wasn't break even. So you get caught in that cycle. Yep. If I don't put out 30 grand, I'm not going to get back 28.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, holy shit, dude. And so that's definitely a horror story. And people not caring, not giving you accurate feedback. Mm-hmm. It's always about puffing your ego up just to pay them. Man, I've been doing this for so long now because I have been an entrepreneur my whole life. I have to market. I also think the flip side of that is I know when I've got a good thing. I can see value in that with you guys. And I trust you, which is huge. And I believe what you tell me. If Tony's telling me I'm a bottleneck in sales, I might say, fuck you first. But okay, I'm a bottleneck in sales, If you guys say, we can't do these thumbnail ads now because they're not paying off, we need to put it back in B2B. Okay, put it where you think. I mean, I'm giving you all a checkbook because I don't know how to do it. That's the thing, though, with someone that's like me, what I would assume most business owners are, they're not marketers to your all's level. I mean, we can go to B&I meetings. We can send out texts.
Yep.
We can send out emails, but that's not a marketer. You guys you do what you do, and you all do it very well, hard at. Thank you. And Tony does what they do very well, and he cares. His whole team cares. They're always checking in. Can we do anything different? If I sent over something this morning where we put a price list together of like, our luxury vinyl plank, our reclaim, where we start. And said anybody that calls in, I want to text this to them so they get a price list to intrigue. And immediately they were on it. Any lead that came in today, I promise you I could go back and look and they got the text. So it's, there's a lot that you all bring to the table that we've never had before. So it's very hard for me to compare it, other than there's no fluff. It's just results. And it's really up to us to grow now. Now, that's a good problem to have. Because then I can't blame y'all.
Yep.
100%. One thing that was so appealing about the idea of bringing you guys into, our clientele, and we've touched on it a couple times, is that you're one of those outliers that has the highest quality at the lowest cost, which makes no sense. How do you do that without giving away all the magic?
Passion. We want our clients to win while we win. So we just keep digging and finding, buying our own sawmill and taking trees off our 50 acres that we can use it's free.
Yep.
That might not sound like a lot, but it is a lot.
Yep.
And putting our own finishing shop in and, buying the best finish at the best price because we can buy it quantity. Like you just add all these things on and going to China and getting our own luxury vinyl plate plying with what we know the market doesn't have. Like just, again, me being driven to bring something to market that doesn't exist and then finding the best price point to get it there.
Yep.
Like I feel like I owe that to our client.
100%.
Like really. So when I am meeting a client in here, I'm not selling them, I'm educating them, and then they make a decision. And I know they can't find it anywhere else. And I definitely know that if they do find it, it won't be at our price point.
What's the thing that you believe about the future of homes, design, or sustainability that most people in your industry think you're wrong about?
That reclaimed is short-lived. Reclaimed is timeless. It's been here for 300 years, and it's going to be here for another 300 because people want authenticity. I'm an authentic guy. I'll tell you what I've done, where I failed, everything. But authenticity lives, and you can't fake authenticity.
Yep.
And reclaimed beams and wood, they have a feel that you can't even duplicate. We did make a luxury vinyl plank to look like our top 7 sellers, but it's not it.
Right.
It's as close as you're going to get for $4.99 a foot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel and smell like those things touch your senses.
Yes.
You see, you touch, you smell. It smells different. When you walk in here, it smells different.
Yep, it does.
Like
Yes.
I'm not faking it.
No.
It's real.
We're here. We can confirm.
We can't confirm.
So,
Right.
it just feels, authenticity is real. Like it just touches every part of us. And I think Reclaim does that. It ain't going nowhere. It's only going to grow. So we're going to get behind that. And that's where we'll stand.
I think it's cool that, these things come at different price points, right? If you want the historic feel, the things that come with Reclaimed, it has a certain price point, right? But you're making it more accessible, not in its fullest, but you're making it more accessible by turning it into the luxury vinyl plank. And that's pretty cool.
Well, we definitely are. A 7-inch chestnut, which we recreated in luxury vinyl plank, would be $25 a square foot.
Yeah.
This is $4.99.
I was just going to ask you the specs on that. I wonder what are the specs on your private label.
Thickness. It's a 20 mil wear layer, painted bevel, which got the new laser technology where it's embossed. So we sit our samples over there, and it's identical to them.
That's thick. Is that like a loose lay?
It's a Uniclick system. Uniclick. It's float.
Click.
Yeah. It is a beast.
Cool.
Like it's a beast for $4.99.
Lifetime kind of floor.
Oh man, this stuff. Yeah. Only thing it's gonna really wear through it's a fire.
Yeah.
Like
Same thing that burns through the real reclaim.
Yeah, like the only thing is going to get rid of this is a fire.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got 7 planks in a box. It's so heavy.
Yeah.
Like, and we've done that with chestnut, reclaimed oak, our reclaimed pine, our reclaimed poplar, full patina oak, and then our brown siding. So, man, you've got looks in this line that people have never seen. Like, it is new at a $4.99 price point that is like, that's a $6 LVP somewhere. And it's a SBC too, stone, which is
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
it's a stone plastic composite. It's not a wood, which would be WPC, wood plastic composite. So it doesn't need to acclimate.
Wow.
I mean, it is a hell of a product with a cork back. Wow. So
You know what? One of the things I really like about those thicker products like that, because if I remember correctly from my old Mohawk days, is a carpet tile is about 5 mils thick, right? So if you're sitting at 8 mils thick, the really cool thing about that product for designers is when you're creating a space and a transition maybe from a soft room to a hard room, is you can actually eliminate a lot of the transition strips, right? So you have this seamless design from one room to the other without the transition strip look, which is kind of cheap in a lot of ways. In some ways, it can look really good
yeah,
because of the heights there. You know what I'm saying? So between like a thicker pile carpet or a rug or something like that, it creates a really awesome design opportunity for your clients.
What's the most extraordinary piece of wood that you've ever found, and what story did it tell?
I think off of this property, right when we started getting into live edge, there was a spalted maple that had been there for I don't know how many years, but it fell, and we just clearly put it on the sawmill and cut it up, and it was just absolutely beautiful. I mean, just gorgeous. Another one that comes to mind is in one of our reclaimed timbers we got in, had some horseshoes on it, and it's like, what year was that nailed up there?
Yeah.
Just it's still out there in the yard too. Like, I don't want to sell it.
No.
So I might put it over the front door because they say horseshoes are good luck.
Okay, so 20 years from now, when someone walks across the floor that you installed, what do you want them to feel or think, even if they never know your company's name?
I want them to think the same thing that our clients feel when they walk in here, that is special.
Yeah.
We want our products to be special. We don't want them to be me too. We don't want them to be at any normal flooring store that you're going to walk in that has 10 salespeople to greet you, that it's all about price point. We want that, and that's really what we tell our clients. You are going to have a one-off product. It is yours, especially if you're doing a custom stain or reclaimed. There's nothing ever that will look like it, unless they come here and they ask for your floor. But, so that's what I like. So
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I like it. That takes a step back from today's world is so mass production. Build it and build 1 million of them in a week, Cookie cutter homes. I like taking a step back to how things used to be. You look at architecture, even something as simple as a light pole. If you look at one that's a couple hundred years old, someone crafted that. There's art rather than just an extruded piece of metal that they drill into concrete. And so that's why I'm so excited to be, working with you guys, because I think that's cool. I want to.
we definitely love it.
Yeah.
And that's what we hang our hat on. American craftsmanship has went downhill. It's went into mass production, and that are you an artist?
Yep.
And the people that came over here 200 years ago were artists.
Yep.
And that's what we want to recreate.
I think this has been a great episode. Is there any closing statements that you guys would like to discuss?
Well, anything to close out with, Tony?
I was just going to say that I appreciate all you guys. Future is bright. I'm so excited to have somebody like John as a foundational client for us, which we know what that means to us now, partnered with in the ecosystem with Hard Hat Pro. I just couldn't be more excited about what the future holds. It's really, really good times. And I know that says a lot because there's tough times for a lot of people out there. And I just feel like, because of the people we've surrounded ourselves with and some of the decisions that we've made. And it's just exciting times for us over here. And we're really excited to grow with you guys. So thank you. Thanks for including me.
Thank you.
And us.
And when the hard times come, because they probably will, we'll still be here and we got everybody's back.
They definitely will.
Yeah, I mean, there have been clients that we, early on we had where, for personal reasons, their business took a turn, something that I don't think any marketing could have fixed. But, we stuck it through with them and they came out the other side. I mean, nothing that we did on our own, but, it's about who you do it with. So
You got to believe in the people you work with.
Yeah.
You have to. Like, if not, it's fugazi.
yeah,
Yeah, it's just it's not real. Like, if you really, why would you stay with them? So we appreciate you all coming out here, setting all this up. Next time you're flying in, Tony.
Next time you're flying in, Tony.
And you know what? Maybe you guys have to come out to the Pacific Northwest too.
I've
We
never
got
been.
some, we got some trees out here.
I was just there, big boy. I went skiing at I just took the family skiing in Heavenly. We were just right up there near you.
Where's that at?
Heavenly, Lake Tahoe.
Oh yeah. I got married in Lake Tahoe. I live in Washington State, all the way up by the Canadian border.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, a lot of trees up here.
It's the oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm talking with you, Tony. I know the future's going to be bright for all of us, and I can't wait for the new line that you're about to come out with as well, on 2 vinyl plank, and we can't wait to see how everything goes.
We got 1.5 weeks to 2026, so we better get busy.
We will get busy. Oh shit, no problem. I got you, man. All right, let's see.
Tony, thanks, bud.
Yeah.